Terry.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
All right, so that was Admi, the organizer of all of this, and he is actually going to be competing in the race as well. He's going to be doing the Bowser and Moon segment for Team 1. There they are. Now we can see them. They're off and away. So again, these are some of the best any percent Odyssey runners that we have. So this is definitely going to be real exciting here.
And for those wondering how we're going to do the switch-offs between segments, after depositing the moons in the Odyssey, when the jingle plays and it says the Odyssey is now repaired or the Odyssey is now powered up, I'm pressing A will switch from runner to runner, and that's when they'll hand off. So the people running the next segment have that already ready on their save file. Yeah,
that's exactly right. But yeah, just starting off here in the Cap Kingdom, for those of you who are new to this game, and if you are, go out and play it. It's really good. Do recommend. The fastest method of travel in the game is rolling with motion control, so you're going to see runners doing that quite a bit here. As JKB and Nerf roll their way up to the switch, throw their hat to pull the lever, and bring up this bridge. Cap Kingdom is one of the shortest kingdoms in the whole run, but it is a little technical and movement intensive in a couple of areas. Here it's pretty standardized, so only a couple seconds separating them. There's a little bit of different movement to that first switch. And JKB pulling out some spin pounds already. This guy's serious.
Yep. Little known fact, if you spin twice with the left stick on your controller, Mario will start a spinning animation. And if you jump and then immediately crouch, using the crouch button with that, you'll do a faster ground pound, skipping the long ground pound animation. And it's actually used in some spots to start rolling faster, because the ground pound roll off of that gives a faster startup than a regular roll.
Yeah, basically rolling out of a ground pound gives you maximum initial velocity as opposed to the slow startup. And Nerf going to the left side. We get some left side boys. Excellent. So getting to the topper fight around about the same time, despite some a little bit of slower frog movement from Nerf. So just about a couple of seconds behind here. Pretty close so far. It is worth noting that even though JKB is running on version 1.0, first moon skip is not going to be allowed since both runners are not going to be running on the same version there. So first moon skip we will not be seeing in this race, but we will be seeing Sphinx clip and turnip clip. So just a little bit of a look ahead for you guys.
And that left side cap jump, although it looked pretty easy, that's one of the hardest jumps in the run. It's really technical. Actually used a Cappy vectored roll jump, and it's really tight window to make that jump. So props on Nerf for getting it first try, because it's definitely hard.
Yeah, and definitely that strat. Most runners that do left side will do some form of a triple jump there, but Nerf did actually the ground pound roll into the cap to get a vault off, which is I think only him and like Crankdud do that strat, so it's kind of unique there.
Yeah, that was the second time I've ever seen anyone do the roll jump.
Well, a little bit of a bonk from Nerf. Yeah, so JKB not skipping the first moon here. Nerf just slightly behind. But yeah, and so here we are in the Cascade Kingdom. Just for reference again, in the Cap Kingdom, we didn't actually have to do anything but get to the end and fight a boss. Here in the Cascade Kingdom, the prerequisite is that we have to fight the boss, and we need a total of 5 moons collected to move on to the next kingdom. We're not collecting stars or shine sprites this time, but moons. And kind of, so that first moon is kind of necessary unless you do first moon skip, which is not in this race. And then you get a set of 3 moons, a grand moon from fighting the boss. So there's another moon that you need to gather in order to move on. We'll get to that when it comes up. But here's JKB capturing a dinosaur, trying to get this trampoline jump all the way up to the boss fight. And he gets the cutscene.
Triggers that loading zone, yeah. So for some reason, the boss loading zone is actually around this entire island and it extends a little bit outside of it. So around week 1, we found this glitch, not really a glitch, more of a skip, where we can use the trampoline properties and curve right, get off of the dino at the very top, and dive into the loading zone. So skips around a minute of platforming and gets us to the mid-end brutal fight faster.
Yeah, and that cutscene zone, again, does extend a little bit beyond just the top, so you can kind of actually bonk into the side of the cliff and still trigger the cutscene zone, depending on how you got the trampoline jump from the dino. So it's a little weird sometimes. Both runners able to get it, so very, very nice to see that.
And that concludes the Meta Brutal fight pretty fast. If you guys are watching, a couple easy backflip strats there to actually capture the chain jump a little bit faster than usual, and we're able to do that and make the fight quick. So Good fight from both runners, and that
definitely. Yeah, only just basically half a cutscene separating them right now. It's still early in the race, still pretty close so far. Not a whole lot that's been going differently. Just a couple of bonks from Nerf, but these guys are neck and neck, I would say, at skill level. And then, so I mentioned before, we do need one additional moon to move on out of the Cascade Kingdom. So there's JKB heading to that final moon. Now he can head to the Odyssey. Nerf's going to have to go run back and forth, what JKB just did. So he's behind just that movement to and from the moon there.
Pretty nice that the moon just kind of sits at the top, and we actually do a trick that Nintendo... It's not the intended way. If you actually break the rock that we use to get up there, there's a pipe that'll bring you to the top for some newer players, but you just jump over it. Get that free moon sitting right out there pretty fast, which is nice.
Yeah. And it's so this is the point in the run at which JKB is going to hand off his Captain Cascade segment, to pass the baton, so to speak, to Zinpars, who's going to take up at Sand and Lake.
Yeah, so we'll see that on the restream in a few seconds. Hopefully.
Yeah, so that was JKB's segment done, and Nerf now is also done with his segment of the relay, passing on to Fur for Sand and Lake.
So now it is Zinpars versus Fur for the Sand and Lake segment, as Oko just said.
Yeah, so again, 2 fresh runners here for each team. Overlay hasn't updated just yet, but I promise you, it's what's happening. Yeah, and so just to kind of reiterate, here in the Sand Kingdom, oh, it looks like streams actually didn't transfer over. We're gonna try to do that real quick. Apologies. Yeah, so we did miss a little bit of the first bit of Sand Kingdom from Fur and Zinpars, but they did start at the same time that we said that JKB and Nerf handed it off to them, so they have been running Sand in the past couple of seconds. Apologies, but this is kind of where the run starts to get much more movement intensive, and it's definitely a lot more dependent on how the runners perform. Much more so than the first 2 kingdoms, because they're kind of standardized at this point. But a lot of tricks coming out in the Sand Kingdom here, especially, and a lot of things that can go wrong depending on which strats you want to go for. But we are going to be seeing Sphinx Clip attempted from these runners.
So they didn't transfer over. Just
one thing to keep an eye out for.
They're going now.
And just that one moon.
So if you missed anything in the first 30-40 seconds, nobody saw it.
Zinpars, he could go for Dram Strat here. Looks like he's not going to. He's just going to head to the alcove and get the moon. And Fur's probably going to do likewise. Dram Strat's one of those, harder tech strats to kind of pull off consistently, especially in a race. But Fur actually looks like he's.
It looks like Fur's going to go for it. This is exciting. So actually we missed it. What he was intending to do is up throw the cap there and then hold it out using the Y button for as long as you possibly can, click the moon, and then have that cap actually capture the bullet bill, but the wall ate his throw. And it looks like it just did again. That's really unfortunate.
Bonks into the wall. That's really, yeah. So yeah, the wall ate his up throw there, and then he bonked into the wall. He's not going to be able to keep this bullet bill alive, unfortunately, and Zinpars did just about everything right there. He didn't go for the Dram Strat, but he executed what he did try to do very well.
Yep, so we'll see Zinpars is actually going to be attempting Sphinx Clip ahead of Fur, but could definitely bring both runners together, as it is a very hard, almost frame-perfect trick.
Yeah, there is some leeway on it, as we learned when Nintendo patched to 1.2. I think in 1.2 it actually is frame-perfect or harder. It's like it's a five frame window, I think, you have for this trick to clip into the wall here. Pretty tough, but definitely doable. So Zinpar is trying to do it. You get it the third try. Oh, this one. This one. Oh no!
Try to call it
again. This is one of the tougher tricks in the entire run. Okay, so he does get it. He hit the loading zone there. So most runners, what they try to do is go to flowing sands and get that moon and then hit the loading zone. It's fastest to clip twice, hit the loading zone, and then come out, clip again. But that's really hard, so to do it twice successfully. But Zinpar is going to go for it, and he gets the second one, the first try. That's awesome.
So that's what we were intending to see, yeah. And if Zinpars was actually able to do that, do the clip into the Sphinx room first try, and then get into the flowing sands room, as Zerko just said, that's called double clip. Runners don't really go for it because it's really unsafe. It's 2 really hard, almost frame-perfect inputs, but Zinpars kind of accidentally showed it to us, which is nice.
if you're able to get the second clip on the first try, well, basically you have to get it in the first try. It's really important to make a cycle later on in the level. The cycle begins as soon as the zone loads after you come out of the sinks room. So you're on a timer to make a cycle. And so if you don't get that first try, second clip, it's really punishing. But Zinpars is able to get it, so he's going to make the cycle for the moon from the bird later on in the Oasis. It's very nice to see.
Yeah, if you don't make that circle, the bird actually will fly away, and we'll have to take a slower notes moon. But won't see that from Zinpars or Fur. Looks like if they have good movement in the upcoming part to the bird, we won't have to be able to see the notes moon, which is always good.
Yeah. Oh, Zinpars accidentally captured the cactus again, but minor thing. He's still gonna make the cycle, no sweat. Although, yeah, okay. So he's not gonna make the first cycle for the bird. It's gonna come around. He's gonna get the second one. That's okay. It does have to get the ground pound though. There he goes.
That bird's coming right back around for Zinpars.
Yeah,
and he's got it.
Yep,
Last moon there in sand for Zinpars, and Fur's gonna be coming up on the bird. So gonna move on to lake. Still gonna be Zinpars and Fur running for lake. Switch off will happen from lake to wooded.
Yeah, that's right. But a very, very solid sand kingdom from Zinpars, actually. I don't think he made a single mistake. Well, he messed up Sphinx Clip. I think it took him 4 tries to get the first one. But other than that, like, really, really solid.
Yeah, same with Fur. A little bit of mistakes here and there, but nothing too crazy from both players.
Yeah,
pretty tight, close together.
Yeah, I mean, Team 1 did come into sand slightly ahead. They're exiting slightly ahead, you know. I think they gained a little bit of a lead there because, I mean, that was just a great sand from Zinpars. But, yeah, I mean, still a close race, I'd say.
Yeah, Fur did actually. He lost most of his time on Dram Strat and the bonk on the wall afterwards. But still very close, and we got almost 45 minutes left, so could easily change both ways.
Yeah. I don't think, I mean, again, don't want to speak too soon with these kinds of things, but in general, Lake Kingdom is one of the easier kingdoms. Not a lot, you know, I basically since week 1 or 2, the route has been set in stone since then because there are not very many moons. You do need 8 moons to move on, and they're like 9 total or something that we have available before doing all the story missions to choose from. So like, the route's been set in stone, and like everyone knows this movement by now. So usually things don't go very wrong in the Lake Kingdom. So, you know, probably not going to see the lead changing hands here, but it is nice to, you know, get some nice aqua time in. You know, run out as a cheap, a little unfortunate bonk there from Fur, but again, you know, that's about the worst thing that's going to happen here in Lake is just a couple of bonks.
Can't mess up too much in Lake. So. Yep. Here's one tricky jump with the cheap here. We'll see to sort of skip like 1 piece switch for story progression. But
yeah,
if you mess it up, you'll just try the jump again. It's like a 4-second mistake.
Yeah, I mean, we use the cheap to jump out of the water, get some extra height, but you can make the jump without the cheap. So if you fail, you just do it again. So, you know, not a huge deal. Yeah, so Zinpar is now going to be making that jump that we just talked about. Coming out of the water here, trying to land on that platform up there. Oh, get to the second go around. Yep.
Yeah, as I just said, it wasn't lined up, so it took him another second or 2 to line it up again. Yeah,
I mean, again, that's the worst thing that happens pretty much with cheap jump is you try again because, I mean, you know, it's right there. And then we fight against Rango, who technically is a boss.
I don't consider him a boss. It's a auto scroller at the end of Lake Kingdom.
Yeah, pretty much. You jump on his head, and then you jump on his head 3 more times, and then he falls down.
You don't really have to move once you jump on his head once. You just kind of sit there, and then you can ground pound through him. That's basically it.
Yep, that's the fight. A couple other fights in the run that are kind of like that. You know, you sit on their heads, and then they die, and you win. Yay! But it is kind of nice to have that break after, you know, like wooded, like super movement intensive. Nice auto scroller boss fight at the end. Yeah, okay, it's fine. Just a nice time to relax. But so here we're coming up for Zinpars, and for not too far behind, going to be handing off the relays. Zinpars handing it off to Lil Curbs, and Fur handing off to Curbis. So we're gonna have to really enunciate here, Curbs and Curbis. But they're gonna be
names. Yeah.
They're gonna be taking care of the Wooded, Cloud, and Lost Kingdoms. So you're gonna be with them for a little bit.
Yeah, giving them 3 segments mainly because Cloud is a minute and a half, and lost is
like,
slightly over 2 minutes. So
yeah, like a minute and a half.
Same time
yeah,
as
so.
like
But it feels like such a journey, you know. So many different landscapes we're gonna see with these runners. Yeah. So here, Little Curbs and Curbis starting up the Wooded Kingdom.
Smoother transition there on the restream. Looks like we've got it mostly figured out.
Yeah.
What it actually one of the most movement-intensive kingdoms in the entire run. There's a lot of optimization in here, a lot of tricky jumps, even though it's only 6 minutes.
Ooh, and Little Curbs chasing away Mips, the bunny there, has to go hunt it down again. That's really annoying. If you don't get it the very first time it starts running around, you gotta chase it down. Minor time loss there, but it's really just annoying. Like, I was outsmarted by a bunny. Are you kidding me? No. Oof. Looks like we've got some fashion statements from Curbis as well.
Got the underwater outfit, yeah.
I like it.
since they start early, yeah, you can buy anything in the kingdoms before. So it looks like you got that late kingdom outfit.
Yeah. And Curbs there, we kind of glossed over it a little bit, but Curbis here going to be skipping the heart to purchase the moon. We do use our coins in this game. Coins persist from kingdom to kingdom, and instead of like, oh, you know, in Bomb Battlefield, get 100 coins, you get a star. It's you spend your 100 coins at a store in whatever kingdom you want to buy a moon. So there are 2 purchases we make in this run. The first is here in Wooded. The second will be later on in the Snow Kingdom, but you know, runners do need to make sure they have enough coins. But for a relay race, they should be prepared with enough coins. So hopefully we don't see anyone forgetting or anything like that.
Hopefully our Snow Seaside runners don't forget to have their 100 coins ready.
Yeah, exactly. Curbs coming up on one of the most infamous sections in the Wooded Kingdom. Here is the flooded pipeway. So this water level is on a cycle, as well as all the paths of these fuzzies. So trying to make it through here on the correct timer can be really tricky. Sometimes you can go too fast and, you know, be ahead of where you should be for the water cycle. You'll hit into a fuzzy. Sometimes you can go too slow and you won't make it. So, you know, trying to get that right speed. Yeah, Curbs is a little slow here, but he's able to get it.
That was actually really clutch.
Threading the needle. That was really great.
Must have practiced that backup strat. That looked flawless to me.
Yeah, really, really nice there from Curbs.
We'll see if Curbis can do the same, but opting to not take damage is the fastest. If you do accidentally get hit, you can sort of damage boost. We'll see if Curbis will do that here. Yeah, I'll damage boost to those fuzzies.
He does lose a little bit of time though, because the getting a moon does heal you, but there's that animation time of it healing you, moving it to the top right corner. So a little bit of time lost there taking the damage, but you know, nice backup shot from Curbis. Yeah, and Curbs. So Curbis is making the climb up, a little bit of a bonk, while Curbs is breaking the third to last nut. Count your nuts while you have them, boys.
There's like 11 nuts or something in Wooded Kingdom, when we get like 6.
Yeah, it's
90%.
It's a lot of nuts. But yeah, so there's the. We're gonna see Curbs attempt the flower path skip here. He has to do a ground roll into an instant roll cancel to maintain his momentum and triple jump with the third jump coming off of the railing here. Let's see if he can do it. This is one of the trickier things. Oh, he doesn't quite make it. A little bit of a weird angle there. He's
wasn't confident. Yeah. See, looks like he's got it here. Nice. Well done.
Very nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Hard setup, really risky.
Oh no, but he falls. He's not gonna be able to recover. He's gonna take the death. So that's gonna just about tie up Team 1 and 2 now, because Curbis coming out of that Story Moon animation. Curbs standing on the exact same platform. These 2 teams are just about tied up now. Yeah, Curbs has to try again. Yeah. Curbis getting it very first try.
And now they've taken the lead. Unfortunate death for Curbs. Looks like he just jumped a little bit too far there, setting up the triple. But
yeah, it is super close now. Ooh, that's what we like to see in races. I mean, not deaths, obviously, but
not fails, but close races. Yeah.
Close races. You know, I love you, Curbs. Please don't hate me.
Looks like both runners actually messing up this little jump right here. It's kind of tricky if you want to do it fast.
Yeah, because it's a circular room and you want to travel like straight left. The camera can be a little weird here, but you know, decent backups, I would say. And using motion controls to extend the legs even further to get maximum height. get up the platform and grab this moon before heading to the boss arena. Oh, Curb's diving the wrong way. Has to recorrect there.
At least he stayed on the platform. Didn't die this time.
didn't fall all the way down. It'd be really unfortunate.
And now we got another auto-scroller boss. Pay attention, guys. Really important. We step on his head, and then we step on his head. And then we step on his head.
and then we do it again. Yeah, it's great. There is one optimization that Curbs is going for here. Didn't quite get it, but it saves like 1/4 of a second, so it's technically faster, but like, I mean...
It's 1/4 of a second, guys.
Whatever.
You can have the auto-scroller boss, or you can have the optimization for 1/2 a second.
Yeah, it's... I mean, whatever. But yeah, I mean, these two teams now just about tied up in the same cutscene here, frames apart. This is ridiculous.
I think it's because Team 2's got a little bit more fashion than Team 1.
That's
why they pulled ahead.
Difference.
He's taunting him with the Light Kingdom.
I can beat you while I'm wearing flippers, dude. Come on, get on my level.
I don't even have toes. I got the triple jump. Yep, and with that, Curbs and Curbis are going to be passing it off to...
No, they're not. They're going to be continuing on to the Cloud Kingdom.
Oh, dude, I knew that.
Okay, yeah. I almost said the same thing.
Testing the viewers, we got it.
Testing me?
Wooded so long. Testing you, testing the viewers.
Yeah, Wooded feels definitely like one of the longer kingdoms because every minute there's something exciting happening, and it's like, oh, I feel so winded after the end of it. You know, like, wow, that was took it out of me. But yeah, I mean, both teams exiting around the same time. You're going to be getting to Cloud Kingdom to fight Bowser for the first time, and the strats here are pretty optimized. Given that you don't mess up, which I think the strats are well enough understood that we shouldn't see it happen. These fights will be exactly the same amount of time for both our runners here.
Yeah, and we'll see the strats in action a little bit, but the gist of it is basically trying to abuse the huge hitbox that Nintendo gave Bowser's hat and capture it basically right next to Bowser and use that to speed up that cycle just a little bit. Yeah,
there are two parts of attacking Bowser is hitting the hat out of its attack path and then grabbing it. And as long as you're in midair when you hit it and you are in the place of where it would appear, you will insta-grab it. So that's what you saw Curbs and Curbis do pretty much simultaneously there as they attacked the hat to get it out of its attack pattern and grab it simultaneously. Gonna do it again here. Oh, but Curbs didn't quite get it.
Wasn't fully above the hat, like you said, so Bowser's able to snatch it back, and he's gonna have to take the noob strat.
so
Casual.
Slow. Casual. He lost like 10 seconds. Oh my god, how could he? Curbis also
Curbis backflipped the wrong way.
Oh my goodness.
Is what it looked like. So that'll even it out basically.
Yeah, just about. Yeah, so Curbis didn't get fast.
Yeah, he was at 1 heart there. I was scared.
Oh, and Curbis didn't get the hits off, so Bowser's able to jump away just to chase him down.
So gonna put Curbs in the lead at this point, actually.
Just going back and forth at this
point. I like this race. This is interesting.
This is great. So now they'll be heading into the Lost Kingdom, which is one of it is, I think, the smallest kingdom in the game. Lots of moons just kind of littered around a very tight platforming area. It's very, very short, but like, really movement intensive in some places. So what the runners don't want to do is just walk off to the right down the intended path. They'll trigger a cutscene. But if you do some slick platforming here like Curbs is doing, you can actually avoid the cutscene zone entirely and almost die.
Die. Oh, yeah. I've definitely done that mistake more than once, just not rolling a little too far off.
And Curbis! Oh
no! They're keeping it close.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So Curbs got the jump as intended, but rolled off, didn't long jump. Gets it this time, and Curbis missing up the jump itself. Gonna opt for the faster stretch, just like Curbs is doing. He's got it the second time around, so still close.
Can't take this.
I can't watch.
Oh. But so they avoided the cutscene zone where a Klepto comes and steals your hat, and you're supposed to like get in a fight with Klepto later on and take your hat back. We avoided that cutscene, so our hat isn't stolen, but we can still trigger the fight to make the bird think that the hat stealing cutscene already happened and we're in the fight with it. So Curb's gonna grab one more moon and then activate the fight with Klepto, and so then we no longer have to worry about the cutscene zone at all, which is very, very nice. So, he has to get the bird. There we go.
Triggered it, there we go, yeah. So Mr. Bird thinks he has our hat for some reason.
Yeah.
But we're still wearing it. We're good.
Yeah, no sweat.
And to put this kingdom's speed into perspective, Cascade is 5 moons in 2.5 minutes-ish, 3 minutes, and Lost is 10 moons in just over 2 minutes. So just getting moons back and forth.
It's just, you know, snap from one to the other constantly. Curb's going for the hard cage strat here. Oh, he didn't get it. He actually was in the path of the bomb thing, so it crashed into him. He's going to go for the stone cage backup.
Yep, really fast backup there. Just another fast move we can get. Curb is going for the slow strat on the cage, so might actually tie them up or bring it pretty close now. Yeah, within a couple seconds at this point.
Yeah.
We'll see.
See if they can both get deathless here. Curb's got it. Curbis has got it. Very nice.
Curbis was pretty close there, but
yeah.
You can opt to take that death, and it'll respawn you at the Odyssey, assuming you haven't picked up any checkpoints, which there's no need to.
Yeah, it's a game of like, well, what's your strategy? If you let yourself die, it is slightly slower than living. If you try to live but die, then that is slower than both. All right, but so here at the end of the Lost Kingdom, we runners are going to be handing it off for an entire metro section just for Tischel on Team 1 and just for Bayleef on Team 2. Because metro is pretty long.
Pretty long. Also one of the harder kingdoms. We got a pretty intense boss fight. Not an auto-scroller this time.
Yeah.
And some movement, but looks like Curvis is giving us a little bit of this cutscene before we switch over to restreams.
get the scenic view. Oh, swag strat coming out from Curbs. And Scooter.
Zinpars and Bayleef are playing right now. We just don't have or Tischel and Bayleef, my bad.
Yeah.
Are playing right now, but we don't have the switch.
Yeah, so,
like it's
so here in
now.
Yeah, so Metro is divided into 2 segments, nighttime and daytime. So first we do the nighttime segment where it's dark and stormy and the city's under attack and we have to save it. So a lot of slick platforming to get to the top of the town hall and fight the boss. It is worth noting here that there are 20 total moons that we need to collect to move out of the Metro Kingdom, which is why it's so long and we have just this one kingdom for as a leg of the relay, just entire kingdom for Tischel and for Bayleef. But here's Tischel climbing the interior of Town Hall and Bayleef not too far behind.
It's actually a relatively fast kingdom after this little boss fight segment. It's around 3.5 minutes for 5 moons at the very beginning, and then in the last 4.5 we collect the last 15. So if we do ever find a way to skip this boss fight somehow, which doesn't seem likely, there's just not 20 moons we can collect during nighttime. So we do have to play out long, intensive platforming boss fight.
Yeah, a little unfortunate. You know, the kingdom really does open up after you've done the story segment, and it's you need 20 moons. It's a wide selection available to you after you've done this nighttime segment. But we are going to be fighting the Mecha Wiggler, which you need to hit each of its body segments in order to make it vulnerable, and then you spam shoot it and that's one cycle that Tischel just did, and Bayleef not too far behind. It is possible to kill it on the second cycle, the next time it's vulnerable. But if you do not hit each one of its segments, then it will do what it's doing right now and just go invulnerable and run across the stage a lot. So runners are going to try to manipulate it so it doesn't spend too much time running across. So it takes the shortest path between buildings, and then try to kill it here on this second cycle. As you see Tischel lining up to kill it dead here.
Half the battle here in the second cycle is the boss itself, the RNG. It does move in different paths. We'll see that for both runners, different Mecha Wiggler cycles, or formations, I should say. And the other half of the battle is the motion controls. Tischel, barely sneaking that out.
Got it. Bayleef got it while
faster.
It was moving. Yeah,
so
didn't even
that'll
stop
even up the gap a little bit.
Woo. Tight race.
2 cycles there. No 3 cycles. That's always good.
Well, we have never seen a 3 cycle, and we never will.
I wish I have never seen a 3 cycle. Whenever I get a good run going, I get past Lost, don't die in the tree, and then boom, got a 3 cycle. Something's got to happen.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen here, which is nice.
Yeah, thankfully. But yeah, so here's the daytime metro, right? So we collected 5 moons, if you count the 3 that we just got from the Grand Moon there in nighttime metro. So that's Still 15 moons to collect here in the daytime version of Metro. So a lot of moons to be collecting, and you know, it'll be rapid fire for sure.
Yep. So even starting off with a little trick here at the very start, Tischel and Bayleef are both going to hold their hat out there.
Oh,
grab
Tischel not able to get it, unfortunately.
Yeah, a little slow, got a ledge grab, but opting, Bayleef doing it right, holding out that hat so we can capture that spark pylon just a little earlier.
And they're going to go for the scooter clip here, leaning in to clip into the cage and grab the moon just like that from Bayleef and from Tischel. They both got it. That's exciting.
Bayleef leaving with a bonk, so that'll even up a little more again. They're frames apart at this point, actually. Gonna collect this moon. Both going for swag strats. They started that cutscene at about the same time. Both nailing the swag strats. Looks like we're watching the exact same run, but again, Team 2 with the style. And so bench friends at about the same time, using this pylon, breaking the top left box, which is 1 hit. All the others are 2 for some reason. Again, looks like we're watching the exact same run at this point.
Yeah, no,
up to the top of City Hall.
Synced up. This is ridiculous.
You can't say you've seen a close race if you haven't watched the relay race.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The exact same time here. Tischel with a little bit faster strats here, and Bayleef taking a bonk, so that'll separate him a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, again, this is just, you know, snapping back to back moons here. Just really, really exciting to both run and watch this.
Haven't been any route changes in a while, even though Metro's actually does contain a lot of moons. Second biggest kingdom in terms of moon count behind Sand, but a lot of those moons are locked away behind the festival, which is the main storyline of the kingdom, and that takes a long time, and a lot of them are locked behind the moon cube after beating the game, so we actually don't have too much to choose from, which is why the route hasn't changed in a while. Yeah,
like I think you can do the moon where you like ride on the scooter away from the dinosaur, but it's like a whole auto-scrolling kind of sequence thing, so we don't want to do that, and like, you know, just options like that, that's like, we could route it in, but like, we don't want to.
And both in the same crowd room here. You can actually just roll through the people. A little rude, but it gets us to the moon as fast as possible.
A little bit of a bonk from Bayleef again.
I'm gonna climb high over the crowd now to get the hidden moon, and just 3 left for both runners. So we're actually going to start a little bit of the story here. Going to talk to Pauline. She wants us to find 4 musicians for the festival. For some reason, she can't find the drummer that's standing 5 feet away from her. So we're going to do that for her. And then we're going to find the guitarist, I think it is.
It's a bassist.
Bassist. Most people don't call him the bassist.
he's the OTEP guy.
They actually have these weird jumbled, I don't know, not really a language.
I know we're gonna need some OTEPs in the chat for this.
We'll most definitely bring them out, guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're gonna leave. We're gonna find 2 musicians and then let Pauline do half of the work herself.
Yep. Thanks for the moon. See ya, nerd. I didn't think it was funny though. You know, when I first heard the bassist, like, you know, because they're all playing stuff from like the Mario theme, and the bassist is actually playing the Donkey Kong. I noticed that the first time I heard it. I thought that was really interesting. Little fun fact for those of you who care.
I didn't know that personally. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's the little touches in this game that really make it really nice. But so here, you know, both runners, both our teams pretty much tied up here coming out of the Metro Kingdom. So Tischel going to be handing it off to HDLax, and Bayleef going to be handing it off to Monado to do the Snow and Seaside Kingdoms.
Snow and Seaside are both of the options in the 4 coming out from Metro. And most runners, depending on how many coins they have for the Moon and Snow, will either choose to go to Snow first or Seaside first, depending on if you take the Sphinx Insane or not. And if you manage your coins well, die a couple times maybe, because there's a moon in Seaside that gives us sort of 45 just free coins on the path to it.
In a relay, since our runners are prepared,
hopefully
they'll be heading to the Snow Kingdom because they have the coins that they need to purchase the moon from the shop. And the very first thing that we do out here in the blizzard, this is the only moon that we actually collect out in the blizzard, is we go and head towards Captain Toad and break his igloo, expose him to the elements, steal a moon from him, and then leave him to die. Because
not completely sure how he's still alive.
Mario's a real stand-up guy.
And we kind of break his fort too. He's hidden away in the snow.
We destroy his cover from the storm. Like we killed him. He's dead.
Basically.
He is dead.
Leave him to the elements.
Yeah.
And streams still haven't switched over, but we'll get it eventually. It's worked the first 2-3 times. Is it 2?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
it 3?
I lost count. I don't know.
It's worked the first 3 times or something. So it'll work again, guys.
We're in the neighborhood. Yep. So there's HDLax and Monado.
Looks like HDLax has 101 coins going into the store.
He calculated this. I'll have just enough. So he's gonna spend all but one of those coins to purchase the moon here. Monado not too far behind.
There's got to be some coordination here on Team 2. They all got some pretty snazzy outfits here.
Ooh, Monado accidentally selected the heart, and he wanted the moon. He's going to go back into the menu again.
A little bit of a time loss, but makes up for it with the snazzy Luigi Cat boxer shorts.
I mean, he missed the heart skip. There's no point in doing the rest of the run. Like, God, I don't know, man. Just don't know.
It'll mess up the RNG for Mecha Brutal, so he's gonna have to do a little bit of a cycle manipulation here in snow.
Yeah, a little more RNG manipulation needed. But yeah, I mean, again, we talked about this a little bit before with the Lake Kingdom. Like, in the Lake Kingdom, you need 8 moons to move on. Here in the Snow Kingdom, you need 10 moons to move on. And there are like 11 moons available, or 11, 12-ish moons available to you to choose from before you do all the story missions. So don't really have a choice, and we just gotta do pretty much all the moons except the boss fight with Rango. We don't do that refight.
It's a lot harder. It's on ice. That's a pain. And Monado almost dying, but saves it, kind of. Yeah, he's good. Looks like he might have fallen off, but saved it.
We do have a request from Nerf to comment on the style of Team 2. It is worth noting this is the second runner in a row to be wearing boxer shorts. So I don't know. Maybe it's just the power of the nipples that they believe in will prevail today.
It's got to be that Einstein boxer shorts, Luigi boxer shorts.
Whatever boxer shorts will work,
Yeah.
Believe in the power. And we did have the scuba diving outfit before as well. So, I mean, hey, style for Team 2 is on point. Team 1 is lacking in the swag, I have to say. Ooh, and...
Oh, is he going to save it?
He saves it, but he kills the Goomba.
That's so unfortunate.
So he needs all those Goombas alive.
That's so unfortunate.
He needs to capture a Goomba, stack them all up, and use their combined weight to press down a switch. He saves his own life, but killed the Goomba doing so he does have to reset the room, and now teams are going to be just about tied up again.
Oh, they're both taking damage there, trying to capture the Goombas, so...
Oh, goodness.
Both going to have to sit through this healing cutscene, but... What a save into a fail. I've actually never seen that happen before.
Yeah, that's very unique. HDLax didn't get the roll cancel triple jump there, and Monado not even going to be going for it. There's going to be long jumping across this chasm to head towards the moon. Monado taking a slightly longer route around, but it still gets there. And the only things left in the Snow Kingdom are Pipe Suck and the one secret hidden moon that's not secret at all.
Yeah. We're going to go into the Rango boss fight room. We're going to make him think we're going to fight him. We're just going to take the secret and leave.
Yeah.
Steal his treasure.
Monado not going for Pipe Suck. I know I was just commenting on Team 2's style, but like, I'm judging a little bit.
Got the outfits. Don't have the style moving to back it up. I don't know. But pretty easy. The snow doesn't do a good job of covering it up. that'll finish off Snow Kingdom for both of our runners. Gonna be moving on to Seaside. Not gonna be switching off. I got it this time, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's
not gonna be switching off.
Just still HDLax and Monado going into Seaside. You know, again, another kingdom, only 10 moons, but definitely a lot more diverse movement we're gonna be seeing in Seaside. Not as restrictive as Snow Kingdom, so much faster and more interesting to look at, I think.
Kingdom's actually mostly water, so we're going to be seeing the Gushin and the Cheep Cheep being used to traverse through almost directly across the entire kingdom to get to our last couple moons, which are faster.
Yeah, so just seeing our runners here starting up in Seaside Kingdom. HDLax going to be showing us off first. The first movement thing here is a triple jump into, or it's a ground pound jump. Sorry, I spoke too soon. But going to be heading up to this cliff here. This is another one of the tighter jumps. You need maximum height out of each segment of your jump to make it all the way up top, and losing any bit of height there will kind of make you fall short. So he does get it very first try, so that's really nice to see. Monado going to be looking to do the same thing. He also gets
from both, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just maximizing the distance from, or the height, I should say, from the ground pound jump or whatever about jump you attempt, and then the cap dive and the wall jump and the dive itself all need to be optimized to nail that jump.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and then this little section here from HDLax. Oh, he misses his hat. It's really unfortunate. But so you're supposed to actually capture a Gushin to do this, which is why this room is kind of, it looks like a 2D room, but it's not. Like, that moon is a certain distance away from the camera. It's kind of awkward to kind of do, but hey, I mean, our runners are now basically synced up now again. This has been a tight race the entire time. This is really exciting.
Synced up in Metro, synced up in Seaside, back and forth in Lake, Wooded, Sand, all that stuff. Good stuff from both teams. And Monado missing the moon, gonna put HG in the lead. That's crazy. That's how close it is.
Yeah. But so here they are capturing a Gushin. They're just gonna use this to travel over to the checkpoint and go grab a Cheep Cheep, because we're gonna be swimming for the rest of the moons here in Seaside, and swimming as Mario is just unbearably slow. So we grab a Cheep Cheep because it's fast. And
Gushin's being the fastest movement on the surface of water, and Cheep Cheep's being the fastest movement underwater.
Right, exactly.
I'm gonna be using both of those. As you said, Mario is extremely slow in water.
Yeah, it's kind of painful to look at, honestly. I think this is the slowest Mario has ever been underwater, without being another thing other than Mario. Like, Cheep Cheep's pretty fast, but as Mario, I think in Odyssey he's the slowest he's ever been underwater. It's kind of
probably just to encourage capturing is what I would think, and it works well.
Yeah, it does.
It's very slow.
But yeah, just about a second or so between the two teams right now. Just gonna get this one moon in between the seaweed here and head down to a cave. One last moon before passing it off to the next runners.
And these little cheap shakes, I can pronounce words here. They're doing, it's actually pressing up and down at the same time. Cheep Cheep does a little twirl, and it's used to accelerate faster, but it doesn't actually increase the Cheep Cheep's max speed. So going around turns is faster if they do the YMB, and then motion controlling with the Cheep Cheep will actually do a little spin attack, and so that was used for the second to last moon to sort of uncover those domes to get explosive.
Yeah, basically it gets you up to top speed, and then once you're at top speed, and you can't go faster. So it's about that. But then, so here at the end of Seaside, gonna be passing it off to the next runners for Luncheon and Ruined. Sefaro getting the baton for Team 1, and Tech getting the baton for Team 2.
Luncheon, one of the harder kingdoms, not too bad, but there's a couple movement optimizations here and there. Ruined, another one of the auto-scroller bosses.
Yeah. Luncheon is basically Wooded Kingdom's little brother. It's definitely movement intensive and pretty tough to nail down, but a lot of people sleep on it just because, it seems very straightforward to, when you have the top-down view, like, oh yeah, I can do all those things, but stringing them all together can be pretty tough. And it looks like we're getting some fashion statements from both the teams now.
Team 1's catching on.
Nice.
Tech's got a cowboy hat with a snow.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. It's like a snow cowboy. What is it? Snow
like
Mexican.
Snow Mexican. Business professional or snow Mexican? It's tough.
Snow Mexican's like Canadian. Sefaro's Canadian. Something going on here. You read between the lines. This is some shade.
No comment.
Classy choices from both teams.
Oh boy. Yeah, so there's the refight with Pure. It's the same fight. It's a rectangular arena, which is different if you allow him to attack cycle, but we don't, so it's the same.
We're competitive Odyssey players. We don't do the casual bouncing around strats around here.
Yeah, I know. Who's got time for that, you know? We gotta kill him dead fast.
Remove the evidence quickly.
Hide the body.
Kill the brutal, get out. Sefaro's got that like Men in Black kind of costume going on.
Only business.
No witnesses.
Dives over the moon.
Almost misses the moon.
I'll have you know the Canuck are a proud race and Snow Mexican fails to establish their baguette heritage. I'm sorry. I can't handle this.
Oh my god. This should just be a thing in any percent. You should be allowed to select your costume before you start a new file.
I wish, yeah, like pause the timer, like, hey, I'm selecting a costume, don't count this against me, this doesn't count as my race, I need the swag, please, you know.
It puts me in the right mindset for Bowser's Kingdom.
Right? I have to do it. Ooh, swaggy down throw there from Sefaro. Able to break the crate pretty fast.
We'll see if Tech will do the same thing, yeah. Nope, just gonna use motion controls. Missing it up a couple times, but looks like he's got it. There we go.
Yeah, that throw can be a little tricky if you're on Pro Controller, which most runners are these days. Motion control, tech, motion tech to run
Tech.
tech as in like technique. Yeah. Motion control things can be harder, can be easier to do if you're using Joy-Cons. But you know, most runners like the bigger buttons and you know the traditional controller style that the Pro Controller gives. So most runners use that. A little bit of a motion control disadvantage in a decently motion control intensive run. And speaking of motion controls, I'm gonna be heading onto the forks room here.
Probably the most motion control usage in a moon. We'll see. A lot of up throws, shakes, and all. Catch these forks faster.
Yeah.
Sefaro messed up a little bit, but got a nice backup there. Up throw, well done, and we'll see if we can get it. Nicely done from Sefaro. See if Tech can do the same.
Yeah, this is one of the rooms, like, basically the only way that this is actually fast and kind of worth it is if you use motion controls and take full advantage of the options they give to you in Tech. Taking a bonk.
Ooh, that was close. I thought he fell off.
Yeah, so did I. That was super close. Ooh, little spooky there.
And we're actually going to be coming up on Turnip Skip. So hopefully we'll see both runners take it. Actually, one of the more recent route changes found. Not crazy recent. It's been a month or so. But
yeah, we should kind of explain what's going on here. So you see Sefaro with a turnip. You're supposed to capture this frying pan, bro, break some cheese blocks, pull a switch to break this box surrounding this moon, but if you put the turnip right up against the wall of the crate, you can get the frying pan, bro, between the turnip and the crate, recapture the frying pan, bro, and then just clip straight through the wall of it. A little bit of difficulty there with the annoying spinies for Sefaro, but he looks like he's gonna get it successfully first try.
Nicely done there. See if Tech can do the same. Yeah, you really don't want the spinies or anything to kill the hammer, bro, or the turnip.
Yeah, that's one thing. You want to kill the spiny with the frying pans if you can, because it's really annoying. But the frying pans can also kill the turnip, which is super unfortunate. But so Tech not getting it first try, gonna go for second try, and he does get it.
There we go. Well done from both. But pretty fast, faster than the cheese, obviously. This is why we do it.
Yeah,
the setup's nice, but well done.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't save, but like what, 12 seconds tops? You know, like it's not a huge time save, but The upside is that you don't have to deal with the cheese.
Cheese RNG.
Yeah, the way that the frying pan bros throw their frying pans, it's kind of in a random direction at a random height angle, so it's really sucky to deal with.
And both runners here are going to be jumping over this mountain, not going around the side, ground pounding to expose the moon in the back. Careful not to fall off. I've seen it happen. It's happened to me way more than once.
If you fall into the Pepto, there is no... And Tech, we talked about it just too soon. There is no way to get out of that, so he's going to eat a death there as Sefaro is closing out Luncheon Kingdom.
Commentator's curse.
We were just talking about how it can go wrong, and then it went wrong. You always... Man. It's unfortunate. He did get that moon, though, so he doesn't have to circle back around to the back of the mountain. Just has to get up to the meat %.
Little slow on the backup too, just not really used to. You don't really practice strats for failing things often.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of pointless to try to plan for that if you just play perfect. Duh. Yeah, so now Team 1 definitely with a significant lead over Team 2. It's one of the more unfortunate deaths you can take in Luncheon Kingdom. But, I mean, pretty clean from Sefaro, honestly.
And other than that, also clean from Tech.
Yeah, I mean, aside from that death, like, just really, really nice.
And they're both going to still be playing out Ruin Kingdom here. It's one of the longer auto-scroller bosses. Probably one of the longest. It's a auto-scroll kingdom at this point, basically.
It's not a scroll kingdom. There are strats, quote-unquote, that can save you a couple of frames. But that's about all you'll be saving. We
can change the speed on the auto scroll from like 1 to 1.01. Like, that's about it.
Yeah, it's really not. So yeah, I mean, again, with pretty much everything in this run in this game is that things can go wrong. I haven't seen it in a race yet, but you technically can die in the boss fight. Technically, like it's not a free kingdom, so to speak. Even though we call it an auto-scroller, you still can have things go wrong. But, even if you do everything right, you're not getting any time from it.
And there is a proposed sort of way to make this a little faster, and no one's really found a setup for it. But on the last cycle, when there's a ton of keys on the dragon's head, once Cappy actually kind of just captures one of the keys, because Mario doesn't actually become the key. He's gonna latch onto the keys like he latches onto levers. And he'll pull it. He actually still has to animate and come back to Mario, and so you can actually grab 2, 3, 4 keys in one Cappy throw. And I've seen a couple Twitter clips of people trying to do it, but there's no real good setup for it to be faster than just throwing your cap once or twice.
Yeah, and again, it saves, like, frames. So most people, like, it's not really worth it. But, yeah, other than that, just your standard dragon in a Mario game,
This is normal.
Yeah, no big deal.
If we go back to Super Mario Bros. 1, there were 6 dragons, and so really revitalizing the aspect of that.
But just as an administrative note, we are going to be switching here after the Ruin Kingdom. Our last 2 runners are going to be finishing out the rest of the run. Sefaro's going to be passing it off to Omni, and Tech's going to be passing it off to Samurai Man for Bowser's Kingdom and the Moon. Just as soon as they finish off this really exciting boss fight that has lots of, RNG manipulation and frame perfect auto-scroller, sorry.
We'll see what style choices we get from Bowser and Moon.
Yeah.
It's my favorite part of the Switch, is seeing what Mario's gonna pop out of the hat next.
Yeah, I'm guessing we're gonna see something crazy from Omni and just standard garb from Samurai Man, but I could be wrong.
Never know.
So there's Omni right after the Ruin Kingdom switch. Tech still has to deposit the moons into the Odyssey and pass it on to Samurai Man. So I guess we should now talk about Bowser's Kingdom a little bit, huh? So we go to Bowser's Kingdom because he has a kingdom, because he's the king of the Koopas, right? You know, makes sense. Except it's themed like Japan, which is interesting.
To say the least.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Definitely, you know, it's kind of a gauntlet, I would say. You know, you go from one end of the stage to the other, and you have to fight some bosses and do some tough platforming. And actually, I was wrong, because Oddme's wearing the traditional.
Samurai's got the boxer shorts.
Samurai's just the boxer shorts. I was completely wrong, man. I'm bad.
Almost had it.
But you know, gauntlet to the end of platforming and boss fights, and so you know, like Oddme just got, there's a story moon that you have to get in order to progress further on into Bowser's Kingdom, and there are 6 story moons that the runners will be collecting out of necessity to finish off the level. But they do need more moons than that to actually finish. They need 8 moons total to finish the level. So you can see, I think Samurai Man actually chose not to go for it actually, but the runners do need 2 additional moons in on top of the required ones that they can pick and choose which 2 they want. But the route is kind of standardized more or less at this point. We'll see if they do actually end up going for the ones I think they're going for.
Picking a bonk, hopefully he'll be able to.
Oh, he doesn't get on top of the ogre.
That's what I was worried.
He has to wait for it to stomp down again. Yeah, so now he can. Oh, what did he make? He missed again. Oh my goodness, Samurai Man.
3rd time's the charm.
Taking damage. Maybe? Okay.
That was unfortunate, but
yeah, big time loss there, unfortunately. Yeah. Oddme's just cruising through this Moonshard section. Gonna break this box and get the last Moonshard, head to his 2nd story moon as Samurai Man just collected his 1st. Yeah, pretty not insignificant lead for Team 1 at the moment.
This could still change though. We still do have Mecha Brutal. Anything can happen.
Yeah. I mean, we saw it just yesterday in Bayleef versus Smallland. You know, just going slightly ahead into Mecha Brutal, you can come out like a minute behind just because things can go wrong, or they can go very, very right. But, you know, we'll see what happens. So there's the 1 moon that Oddme picked up there, one of the optional moons. We're probably gonna see Samurai Man pick up that optional moon as well. As Oddme heads towards.
It doesn't actually show in the top left that we need extra moons. Or how many moons we need. Maybe a stylistic choice to sort of keep it vague, but we do need 8 instead of 6. And we can't leave early.
He's gonna be going for the hole in the wall, the glory hole moon.
I haven't seen that one in a while.
Yeah, this has been routed out for a while now because most runners like the faster options, but some of them are still sticking to their guns. Like, no, this is what I know, and I am resistant to change, or just, you know, whatever the case may be. But Samurai Man bringing back the glory hole for more glory, so to speak.
It's for the chat.
it's just
for the experience.
It's for Twitch chat. That's what it is.
A couple seconds slower is all. And Oddme taking a hit and Harriet for some reason too close to the bomb there.
Yeah, so
not terrible, but yeah.
So there's the 2nd optional moon Sammy picking up. So he does not need to get any other non-story moons. He can just go to the end of the stage and do all the rest of the story missions, and he'll be good to go. Oddme still does have to collect 1 additional moon.
And Oddme did do Topper before this, so that was his 2nd brutal fight there.
So both fights separating the runners, but Oddme still does need to get that 1 additional non-story moon. So kind of hard to judge exactly what the lead is right now, but definitely Team 1, large and in charge.
And I see someone in chat said Sam only went for the glory hole because he killed his bird going for behind the wall moon.
Thank you, Coin. I had missed that.
Good catch. That's why we got chat. We're testing you guys, and we knew that.
Yeah, keeping us honest. I'm used to seeing runners now go for the one on top of the wall after the 2nd story moon, and the one that Oddme is doing now, the crate moon. The one behind the wall right at the very start is less common these days. But yes, now Oddme does have all the moons he needs. He just needs to go fight the Mecha Brutal. Samu just needs to kill Harriet and he'll be right behind him.
Definitely not an insignificant difference, but Mecha Brutal could bridge this gap.
Mecha Brutal has brought many a runner to their very knees. This wouldn't be the first time.
You have not ran Super Mario Odyssey if you have not died to Mecha Brutal during a PB-paced run.
Oh yeah. Yep, it's just a fact. So here's Oddme starting off the Mecha Brutal. Samu still has to platform his way up to the top, but...
Ooh, it looks like he's going to go for super fast Mecha Brutal strats here.
Doesn't quite have the height. He has to start over, unfortunately.
Yeah.
That angle can be a little tricky.
Yeah, to give this a little context, this is birdless, and birdless is pretty standardized among most runners. You can do it on this left leg here. I don't know if we'll have enough distance to come back. Oh, he will. Gets that jump. That was smart. And he's going to try and get a fast...
No, he misses! He falls all the way down.
The setup was a little off there. But that's the hardest birdless and the fastest that we've had so far. Going for the backup here. This is what most runners do, is they climb the leg. And then...
He got knocked down.
Yeah.
This is exactly what we're talking about. Everything can go wrong on the mecha, and it's painful, honestly. But Samu now has quite some opportunity, gain some ground here, catch up.
This is close. Getting that second hit from Oddme as Samu's just about to start the fight. But yeah, that's hard birdless. Climbing up the right side, hitting the third, but you do need that really fast ground pound, and it is a fast second hit, but as we saw with Oddme, you can miss and fall. And Samu's going to take that easy left side leg birdless.
Yeah. So he doesn't have the option of the super ultra fast cockpit hit, but you know, gets pretty fast anyway. Not too worried about it.
So Oddme finishing up Mecha Brutal. Samurai is just 2 hits behind at this point.
Yeah, really tightened up the race there, honestly. So if Samu can get this hit here, he does. He needs to get on top.
That third, needs to get the back, yeah. Should have enough. Yeah, it looks like that was high enough.
Yeah, he's got it. So
Nicely done.
Not miss, and he gets it perfectly.
There. Well done, yep. So, closer than it was. Oddme, Team 1 still in the lead, going into the very last kingdom, but Moon is not free.
It is not.
You can die. You can mess up. There's another Bowser fight, though very similar to the one that we saw in Cloud Kingdom. It's just a few more hats, so we could see the runners mess up fast strats there. Moon Skip is still not free. You can mess that up.
Yep.
And 2D Skip also exists.
Yep. And even though Bowser's Kingdom is fairly long, we are not going to be switching runners here. It is still going to be Oddme and Samurai Man closing out the race for each of their teams. So just going to keep on going with these two guys and see what happens here in the Moon Kingdom at the very end of the race. I still like Samu's style. I respect it.
He's got like that peach sort of fancy hat with the boxer shorts. Maybe with the classic captain's hat, Mario, any percent.
Yeah. Alright, so there's Oddme selecting the moon. Samu just has this mini cutscene ahead of him.
People in chat pointing out that Samu's an Italian for Mario, and he wanted to buy the Sunshine outfit, but not possible until post-game, unfortunate.
Yeah. It's one of those things, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but Nintendo says no.
And now both runners are going to switch to their wedding garb. We have to be dressed for the occasion, crashing the wedding in style.
The game forces you to be dressed well, unfortunately. And Oddme is going to be getting the full double triple jump vectoring here.
It's the double triple. The wombo combo. Nicely done.
That ain't Falco. But no, it is 2 triple jumps in a row, using the vectoring technique to gain additional distance so you don't have to spend your time rolling, because it is the fastest movement available on the moon, but it's very tricky to get the angles just right to pull off, so you see Samu just rolling, going for the long jump, because it's honestly more consistent than trying to do vectoring unless you practiced it just a lot.
It's only a couple seconds. Yeah. First try moon skip. Ooh, and Samurai taking a hit there on the sort of roller spiky thing.
Gonna grab the checkpoint. Grab the checkpoint to heal himself up. He's not gonna grab the rocket flowers actually. Which I don't think I've seen a runner do in quite a while. He's just gonna roll the rest of the way down over to the Sphinx. Do the moon skip there.
We'll see if we can nail it first try, as Adme is going to start up Cloud Part 2.
Yeah, that looks good, I think. Yeah, he got it. So both the runners
nicely done.
Getting a Moon Cave skip first try. And again, this boss fight with Bowser here on the Moon Kingdom is it's identical to the one in Cloud Kingdom, honestly. There's one additional phase in the cycle where it's right here for Adme. It's you just wait for him to be done spitting fire at you, and you can't do anything while he's doing it. You just wait. And then the fight resumes.
We'll see if we can get fast strats here for the second cycle.
Gets the first one, nice.
Samurai. One cycle apart here on this Bowser fight.
Just more waiting for both the runners here in between attack cycles. Super exciting and great.
And Samurai is showing off with the really short jumps. For some reason, Bowser's fire is visually huge, but very, very small.
It's just a floor scan. If you were on the floor, it'll hurt you, and if you're not on the floor, it won't hurt you. So don't be on the floor, basically. Just jump as low as you want, and he won't hit you.
And it looks like Adme is going to be finishing up the last cycle here. Pauses a little early.
Too eager to skip the cutscene.
Going to be starting the escape sequence here as Samurai. Going to be heading into the third cycle. So still pretty close, but don't want to speak too soon.
There are a couple of things that still can happen for both runners, honestly. I wouldn't say this one's in the bag for Team. Definitely looking good for them.
And there's that Bowser fight for Samurai. So both going to be in the escape sequence.
Adme getting the nice triple jump. He's going to be heading to the 2D section. And now, if I know Adme, I think I know Adme. He's going to go for the 2D skip. I don't know.
He doesn't need to, but he's going to do it anyways.
There's a huge risk here, because if he does fall, he will be behind Samurai Man. So he has to nail this and not
really
fall.
Close.
Ooh, there he got it.
It looked like he jumped really late at the very start.
And he did XD skip.
XD skip, wow. Showing us all the style.
We got it.
So, that's called XD skip. It's not faster.
It's not a skip. Yeah, it's a slick-looking platforming thing that saves no time.
It is the exact same speed, but it looks cool, and so we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
We'll see if Samurai can also nail 2D skip. And nicely done. So, unless Adme chokes on the pillar room here, it should be it for Team 1. It's because I'm sour please in the chat.
Yeah, it's that time of the run where you get the anime music and we need the sour pleases.
Nice fireball so far from Adme using Bowser's motion controls, which the game doesn't tell you at all, by the way. You gotta figure it out yourself.
If you shake the controller, you spit fireballs, but like, why would you do that? I mean, but yeah. We learned it, and it's fast, so we do it. It's a way to hit the pillars from far away. But it looks like it is going to be Team 1 closing it out, winning the relay race.
I have actually seen one runner die on that camera shift on accident.
Oh, really? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. But not going to happen to Adme. And that will close out the race. Team 1, JKB, Zinpars, Low Curbs 14, Tischel, HDLax, Sefaro, and Adme all working together to barely take it over Team 2. Super close race. Almost down to the same frame in Metro and Luncheon.
It was honestly super close the entire way through. It was really, really exciting to see runner to runner how things differed and how they were the same a lot of the time. It was kind of creepy in some places.
So people in chat are saying 108.32. Nicely done. And I don't know how you want to do this, but If we want to do a little post game, there's gonna be like 14 people in here.
Right. I mean, an interview would be. Can we do that? Like, interview? How many people is that? Like.
I mean, we could bring in all 14. There's 6 still here from Team 1 and 5 still here from Team 2. So we could try it. I can go and ask them if they want to send in one person or send in everybody. I don't know.
I'm scared.
Do you want all of them or do you want just one?
I'm scared.
You're scared? All right.
I'm scared.
I'll see.
Okay. Interview a segment at a time. Yeah, we could do that. It would definitely take a while to get through, I think, depending on how long you guys want to talk about Mario Odyssey. I definitely want to talk to everybody, but it's a lot of people on a relay race, which is partly what makes it so exciting, but also like administratively a problem. all of them at once. Oh my god.
I'm an idiot for Mecha Brutal. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw a couple of struggles there. Looks like you tried to get the small ant hit onto the cockpit there, but didn't quite get it.
As soon as I fell off right side and I got the sketchy Rango hit, I knew Topper wasn't gonna work, but I went for it anyway. And because I had so much time to spare over Samu, because I knew he was pretty far behind, but as soon as I messed up, I was like, okay, I'm taking the bird. I don't want to actually lose this.
Alright, we got Oddman and Samu in here. One person from each team, not the entire thing.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Hello.
Hi, Samu, how's it going?
I don't know, that was sloppy, I would say. I forgot the fire flower in the moon.
Yeah. I mean, to get it out of the way, just thanks, guys, for popping in, after a relay race like that. That was super awesome, exciting to see. But yeah, I mean, we do want to talk about a little bit, like, a couple of things happening here and there in the last 2 kingdoms there. Like, Samu, we noticed you were trying to do the first moon with the bird behind the wall, and was it the spiny that like killed your bird? Oh, I didn't quite see what happened there.
I kind of forgot to set up for that. Then I ended up killing the bird by accident. Then I just kind of think like, alright, I will ignore this morning when I shouldn't have, because it was so close.
Yeah. I know. Chat was super happy to see you bring back Glory Hole into the route. So that was.
Never betrays.
Yep, it's always a crowd pleaser. But yeah, and then we also didn't. I think you mentioned this. You wanted to grab the rocket flowers on the moon. Is that something that you normally grab those flowers?
I kind of got distracted over that taking damage, so I ended up taking the black ball that heals you, and I just forgot the moon. Oh yeah, you need to take a flower to move faster. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Still made the jump though, so it wasn't too bad. And Oddmay, I don't know, how was that Mecha Brutal?
Oh my god, ugh. I already explained it to Okra, but basically what was going through my head was like, might as well go for right side because that's all I've been practicing, and I got it in my PB. His late game was insane, so I just decided to go for Bowser's and Moon because I thought it would be pretty consistent. Not so much, because I messed up getting up on the right side, and then Rango was kind of sketchy. I still went for the small ant hit on Topper anyway because I had kind of a lead, and I didn't that lead as much as possible despite messing up. Then I kept on messing up, and I saw Samu was actually pretty close behind. So.
Yeah, it was. We thought it was going to be tied up in at the end of Mecha, but you pulled yourself together just in time.
XD skip, that's all that matters.
Yeah, you did do XD skip. We noticed. We got pretty excited about it.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. But other than that, I don't know if you guys have questions for us, or I don't have any more questions.
Or just things to share with the audience at large, since they're here and you're here.
I wish the sunshine costume was available in the beginning of the game.
Oh yeah.
I saw that in chat that was your go-to costume. Had to go for a backup. Team 2 had a lot more style than Team 1.
I was going to put on a costume for my segment, but I already had my save file ready, so I didn't want to go through 50 minutes just for a costume.
Yeah, I mean, if we're being honest here, Team 2 won the style points, and what really matters, right? It's
Faro represented us, though, with the spicy outfit and luncheon.
That's true. Sefaro. Business professional. Yeah, super enjoyable to watch.
As one of the runners and as the organizer of this race, I'm actually very happy with how it turned out, because I asked Beazle about it like a while ago. Back in my head, I was like, is this really gonna work? Like, am I gonna be able to pull this off? And I'm able to make it all come together.
Yeah, no, it went really well.
Yeah, definitely huge props, and thank you, Ami, for putting this together successfully. You know, it was super exciting to see everything come together and play out the way it did. And yeah, I mean, do more good things.
Both teams got sub 110,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
Teams are really close. I don't know if you saw, but in Metro, Bayleef was
they were in
Tischel. They were on like the same moon cutscene, like at the same frame for like a minute. It was like the same exact run.
It was crazy, yeah.
Which was awesome. And but yeah, teams were really close. And props to all of that setup. Restream was awesome.
Team 2 got 109. Times were exactly.
Well, very, very cool.
Yeah, but for all you guys still with us here in chat, follow Speed Gaming if you're not already. They did some of the setup for this, but they do setup for a ton of other tournaments. There's still grand finals and bronze match for the Super Mario Odyssey Any Percent tournament that's going on. That's going to be Valu versus Negrovita sometime this week for the grand finals. We got the world record holder versus Valu. You know, it's going to be awesome. And then we got Zinpars versus Small Ant, two, again, awesome runners going in for the bronze match again sometime this week. So definitely check that out. And there's a ton of other tournaments going on. They do like daily Link to the Past randomizers. There's, I don't know, I've seen Mega Man before. There was a Sonic thing right before this. I don't know, there's a ton. Check out the calendar. All the restreams are going all the time.
And for all your Mario needs, again, follow Samurai Man as well. Omni Samurai Man. Follow all our runners. They're all really. I just wanted to interject.
Oh, not just me. Like all the runners.
All the runners.
Everybody.
Follow everybody. Everybody.
Even yourself.
Yes, do it. Do it.
Awesome.
But you know, just to comment on all the speed gaming stuff. While we're on that note, since we do like Mario here, Mario is pretty cool. There is a Super Mario Sunshine Any Percent tournament ongoing as well, so be sure to check that out.
Go check that out, guys. I don't know much about Sunshine, but always watch the races. Have a good time.
Yeah, it's a good game.
We'll tackle that contentious statement another day, I think. But
head out. Thanks for.
All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Awesome. Catch you guys on the flip side.
Take it easy.